You shouldn't have said that. The placebo.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Three Geeks podcast. My name is Jason, joined by Dan, Max, and Chris, the con man.
Yeah, con man's in the house.
We got some fun stuff to talk about. We're going to talk about some bad con experiences. We were just talking about shopping. Amazon is taking over the world. Like, seriously, they now have a program, or they're getting ready to set up a program where people will do your grocery shopping for you and then come in your house, put the groceries away for you before you even get home from work.
God, no. I don't want
Thank you. I don't want that either, but I'm just saying, like, they're
I'm lazy.
Amazon, you know, to hell with those people that want that. First of all, we need to find out who they are and get them the heck out.
No, Amazon Key. That's
Joe P's on.
Like when
Joe P, what's up?
Yay! When you get a package, right? But you don't want them to leave it like on your porch because you're afraid. You can buy this locking system from Amazon.
Yeah.
And you put it on your front door, and it's got a camera with it. And when the guy's close to your place with the package, it'll unlock the door. He'll walk in, put it on the floor, and like look at the camera, maybe wave if you get a cool guy, and then leave, and then it'll lock again.
That's a little better.
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that thing in the box on the porch. And they have like their little thing, and they go up and it unlocks. They put your packages that you want into it, and it closes. It locks again.
Yes,
so that's even better.
Cool.
You can't go into the house. You just can. It's only like UPS, USP, whatever, whoever. You know, those people can get in, open it, hit it with a thing, and.
Yeah, I don't want people coming into my house.
No,
I don't either.
No.
Yeah, some $10 an hour employee for Amazon.
Yeah, thank you.
Walking in your house.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. We already have a problem with people spitting in our burgers.
Like, yeah, dude, what are they going to do?
What are those people going to do?
To your toothbrush.
I don't care about the spitting in the burgers. It's the people at Subway that were jizzing in the subs. That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah, now think about your toothbrush.
Yeah, I got a problem with all of them. So I'm gonna brush my own teeth, make my own burgers.
Yeah. Did you see Horrible Bosses?
Yeah.
You know what people do to other people's toothbrushes.
That's true.
When they go on vacation with a camera.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah,
no, I'm nervous.
I mean, like, and I'm a slob too. I wouldn't want somebody to walk in and just be like, "Oh God, look how this asshole's living." Like,
speaking of slobs and Amazon, tonight's podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Go to audibletrial.com/3geeks for all your audiobook needs. If you're a slob, like Max said, go to the Amazon-based company Audible and get your audiobooks for free. So you don't have to worry about books anymore. What?
You get one audiobook for free.
One audiobook, but if you sign up, you get an audiobook every month.
Oh, you do?
For the low price of $9.99.
Because I have not signed up for my free. Like, I'll get 2 free months because Jason's got to pay for one of mine.
I do. I owe Max a free month.
But I listen to so many podcasts.
They're our fucking sponsor, and you have like they've hung in there, man. They haven't dropped us yet.
Look, I've tried real hard to get them to drop us.
You heard all the frightening commercials we made for them.
Last week we learned Mein Kampf is on Audible.
Yeah, Mein Kampf is most definitely on Audible, and you can get that for free.
Some generic.
My mother has wanted that forever.
See? That explains a lot.
Now she can drive around and listen to that. It's like, turn off QFM 96 and slap this in.
Can you imagine, like, you get pulled over and the cop rolls up and you just got like Mein Kampf playing out of the stereo?
Some easy read.
No, it's like you know how some of the audiobooks have like acted out parts, you know, with like music and like gaffers and shit. That's what they do with Mein Kampf.
There's like boots marching.
Hey, wait, what's that Sunday program up in Minnesota? The the old guy Garrison Keillor, and you guys don't know Garrison Keillor, and he does like news from around the lake, and all that, and it's just like home timey kind of. You don't know that program?
No.
You guys are geeks. Oh my god!
Because we don't know some weird show from Minnesota.
No. It's on that. It's on.
I know one weird show from Minnesota.
I think it's on like NPR type, but it's been on for like 50 years, and it's got like 100 million people listen to it every week. But now he's retired. But I can't remember what it's called. I'm just forgetting what it's called. But
news from around the lake.
It's a joke, as in like it's a funny, like, some of the boys are good looking, some are ugly. Let's talk about the ugly ones this week. And I mean, it's just a humor thing. But anyway, we've really dragged that part out. But I'm like, I could see like the Mein Kampf being like that, like give it like an old fashioned 1940s radio play, where you got the guy who's doing the knock on the door.
If Audible wants to sell me on Mein Kampf, get George Takei to read it, and I will.
Yeah, that would be worth it for sure. I wonder how much you'd have to pay, or who you'd have to kidnap for George Takei to do that.
George would probably do it right now.
You think so?
Well, I think he's
Kampf?
about to lose a ton of sponsorship money.
Get the whole cast of
What did I
Star Trek
miss?
to do it.
Oh,
with
he
him.
was groping a young man against his will.
Oh,
And then
George Takei too?
Oh yeah,
God!
yeah.
Oh,
Is
my.
anyone not a freaking sexual predator? Is there any like a Hollywood
Apparently
person?
he drugged
You
up
give
some
people
kid,
money and drugs, and they
He
just start
drugged up
groping.
some young guy, and that guy says he was not going to. Came back and found George all over it, and
Ugh.
All right.
oh my,
All right. Well,
Oh
hey,
my.
George Takei, fucking guess you. Oh, hey, I mean, is that like proven?
yeah. Apparently I don't,
Okay, I don't know if it's alleged or not.
Yeah,
George Takei is
yeah.
denying it currently.
Okay,
Is he?
I don't. Yeah, I don't know. It's
And
alleged.
he'll
You're a
correct you if
fucking
you say
asshole.
Takai.
That sucks.
It's
Okay.
Takei, yeah. It's
Speaking of George
Takei.
Takei, audibletrial.com/3geeks, you can get George Takei reading Star Trek to you.
Oh,
It's kind of like
my.
having a sequel to Star Trek, but in your ears.
It's also
And-
kind of like having a
And it
rapist
doesn't
in the
grope
car.
you, so you know.
Right, it won't grope you. That part we can guarantee.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, I feel like we got to get dropped from Audible.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine
No,
if
it's not
Tom
worse than what
Hanks
we've had.
if somebody comes out against Tom Hanks?
the world
Aw.
will implode.
I mean,
It will. The world
children will
will
cry.
stop moving.
Children
Will that-
will cry.
I
Would that
would
be the
cry.
indication
What
that
are
I
you
would
talking
cry.
about?
Would that be the indication that we've actually been in hell this whole time?
Oh yeah, yeah. Well,
Like the veil will come off.
that would just be pure sadness, or like Ricky Schroeder. You know, somebody we haven't heard from forever, and then some nasty crap comes. He's just like, I don't know, growing beets in Wyoming, you know, on his organic free range beet farm. It's
Explain
some
free
guy-
range beef.
it's some guy
I
because of
don't
this.
know.
That Ricky Schroeder, man, let me tell you, he was hands on. And Ricky's like out there tending soil. What? You know, and there's news crews pulling up, and he's like, "Yes, you know, free range beats are finally in." He's thinking, "Kick ass," you know.
While this stuff is happening, Mel Gibson is sneaking back into Hollywood. It's like, yeah, I'm back.
Yeah, he's making the movie Mein Kampf.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, and everyone's
Oh, man.
excited because the poster, the trailer looks
Yeah,
fucking
Mel
awesome.
Gibson's like, if I got away, if I came back from that last one, there's nothing I can do wrong.
This holiday season,
Yeah.
watch
Yeah.
Mein Kampf.
Yeah, with Bill Murray.
You gotta have like,
No,
a
I mean,
whole
is
sheet
there
of
like a-
stars
yeah,
for
yeah,
that.
Yeah,
Like,
Mel Gibson obviously would star in
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Also.
yeah,
Sure.
yeah. Bill
I
Murray.
mean, I guess you could get Kevin
Like-
Spacey and
Wait,
George Takei.
are we all
'cause they're-
Meryl
right now.
Streep.
Meryl Streep would not be any part of my cop.
The funny thing is, we're all sitting there trying to think of characters that would fit characters in them, and I don't think any of us know what the fuck's in the book. Do
No,
we?
I
don't
don't
either. So I'm like, Chuck will be played by. I don't know.
But no, the saddest thing I've read in a long time was these Garfield, old Garfield comic strips with Garfield removed. And it is just the saddest thing. It's just John sitting there, just like so sad.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, it was hysterical.
He was lonely already, and he had a cat. That was
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
cool.
And then,
But you take the cat
and
away
then you remove the cat,
and
and it's
John's there with his
Awesome.
with his house plant and cold lasagna.
Oh.
He's got
no
Odie.
Odie, no
Odie.
Garfield. It's
Who
just John.
who
and,
wants
like,
Odie?
It's just like, dude, please just kill yourself.
What
Please.
about Nermal?
Like the saddest
Nermal.
man ever. No, yeah, it was just like he just picked strips that were just John and Garfield
Okay.
and removed Garfield.
That's funny. No, I don't know if you guys are
That's
old
pretty
enough to
good,
remember
man.
when that craze happened. Every kid had to have the Garfield books. When
Yeah.
this is like 82,
Yeah.
83, whatever it was. Every kid. I didn't get shit. I didn't get anything. My mom didn't buy me anything. All these kids got it. But I remember this one girl named Kara. She got everything, right? And then her best friend got Odie because the Garfield plush doll things were sold out. Couldn't find them.
Yeah.
So her mom got her Odie. And I remember her so mad. She had Odie. And Kara, this I'm not gonna say her last name, but Kara, who had everything, I remember this at recess. I swear she goes, Tiffany, I'll take it, and took Odie away from her, and literally left her with nothing. And she's like, "You don't want it. You don't appreciate Garfield like I do. I'll keep it." And we were all like, "Wow."
She could get normal. She could have mailed Odie to Abu Dhabi.
Odie was my favorite character. He's just, he's just dumb and happy. You know, like Garfield's always fucking with him, but he's just like, hey man, like life goes on. I'm Odie. I can get a nap. Yeah, no, he's all good. So yeah, Odie is always my favorite character.
That's true. Like Odie always seemed happy to, even if he got to just lick the pan.
Yep.
After Garfield ate all the lasagna.
Yep.
Totally satisfied with the scraps.
Doesn't take much.
Yeah. That's true.
Okay, yeah, I think it's just like John was depressing and Garfield was miserable and making other people miserable on purpose. And
sure. And every woman in John's life, you know.
Oh yeah, I mean, it strikes a little too close to home. John.
Right.
Oh, poor guy.
Do you own a cat?
No, not yet.
I'm
more of a dog person though. There's no way I'm getting a cat.
I can get you a fat orange cat.
I don't want a cat. I'm good.
You sure?
Yeah, man. Dogs are infinitely more useful.
They are.
Yeah.
No, not your dogs. You got little fucking upgraded rats. You don't have dogs.
Well, I like upgraded rats.
I'm not a dog.
I was a guy with Great Danes.
See,
and I love it, but I will never have another Great Dane.
They're huge.
They are big. It went too much. My life, you know, the age, etc. Now, when I was younger, I loved it. Loved having my Great Danes. They were great dogs.
My cousin's got a Great Dane named Rufus.
Yeah, that's good. We had one named Atticus. He was 168 pounds.
Yeah.
Just big droopy lip. He was Euro, so his head was huge. And he just didn't like little girls. And when we lived in Maine on 100 acres around us with nothing, it was fine. But then we moved back here and there were kids, you know, every house.
Right.
And he just didn't like little girls. So
that's weird.
Yeah, we couldn't ask everybody to sell their children and remove themselves from the neighborhood. So.
I have that same problem. Like, please get rid of your children.
Your child keeps coming up and knocking on our door asking for our child to play. We need to correct this.
They should have a single guy's neighborhood or a single white lady's neighborhood so they can do their own thing.
No, they shouldn't. I'll tell you why. You're gonna have like
the suicide rate in the single neighborhood would be ridiculous.
Then you got George Takei coming over.
Oh, man.
Check out our buddy Arcmatter at youtube.com/Arcmatter and go to youtube.com/Mike McGTV. We hope to get Mike on again real soon. We miss him on the podcast.
Yep.
And then if anybody's seen or heard from Philip, if you could have him get in touch with us at 3 Geeks Podcast.
Just let us know he's okay. Yeah. You know, Philip, we just want to know you're alive, buddy. And if you have Philip, we don't have any money to pay. Just give him up. This is a bad idea.
Joe P says that he has a Great Dane and 5 kids, and then he told you to suck.
His Great Dane has 5
poor
kids.
Man. No wonder he watches this podcast. This is the only solace he can get in life.
He's on the toilet right now. With his phone
just like getting some little piece. Just say fuck 7 times.
So Mystery Science Theater just got renewed from Netflix. Dan, excited?
Yes, the last season or the first Netflix season was actually really good.
I've only seen half of it so far, but I've had a lot of fun with it.
I enjoy that a lot. So yeah, I would really like it to keep going.
I thought you'd like that.
Yeah,
Chris, you watched Mystery Science?
I watched the old, and then I started kind of, job life, etc. When they switched over to the second guy. I don't remember his name now. Mike.
Yeah.
But this new I haven't caught any of it yet. I'm going to. So that is on my list of have to, but I'm not yet.
Max?
There's no zero Mystery Science Theater. With the exception of because I know that they're making fun of these old crappy movies, but we're still sitting here watching old crappy movies, and I can't do that.
Oh, see, I like some of those old crappy movies, but that's only because before I discovered Mystery Science Theater, I was that guy at all the parties that would sit there and we would do that. But we would get together to watch. We would rent a bunch of VHS tapes from Kroger, and we would get the stupidest ones. Or our friends' parents had a bunch of the classics on beta or whatever, and you pop it into that huge beta machine, and then I would sit there and talk all through it. And we would laugh and have a good time. And then I saw that show one day, and I went, "Oh my God, I missed my calling. This is what I should have done." So obviously they did it better because I had no puppets. it was puppet free.
But hey, but like if it was all you and you were keeping up with them, like imagine if you're like, okay, let me get some puppets.
Right. I would
have. I actually don't need puppets though, because when the first show went off the air, they started doing riff tracks with just the last cast, Mike Nelson, Bill Corbett, and Kevin.
They have
Bacon.
Group Tracks channel on
Kevin
Pluto
Bacon.
TV.
Yeah. Not Kevin Bacon.
Makes everything better.
Yeah.
Better with bacon.
Hey, that's what I say.
Chris, you gotta join us for our annual viewing of the Star Wars
Oh,
holiday
God.
special.
I would
Oh,
love
man.
it because Ethan and I actually watched that and we laughed and made fun of it until Ethan goes, I can't watch this anymore. And he's 8.
Yeah.
You know, it was too much.
We've done it
Wait.
3 years in a row now, and
Is
last
that
year
an annual thing?
it sadly has
Yeah,
been. But last year
yeah.
was the first time we made it through the whole thing.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow.
We even made it through the 10-minute B. Arthur song.
Oh, my God. B. Arthur. How many of them actually, like, when they watched that years later and they actually had some success finally in their life, that they went back, or not that they didn't have, because they did, but you know what I mean? Like, Golden Girls obviously was huge for her. But, I mean, how many went back in that? Oh, I should have never done that. I really, really regret.
George
Or if-
Lucas.
Right,
I
well, we
really
know
don't
George Lucas, but some of these actors do some shitty stuff, and then they're like, you know what? I'm proud of like what's his name? The old, take the gun out of my cold dead hand. The old guy,
Charlton Heston.
Charlton Heston said, "I'm an actor, and I need to keep my tools sharp, and I act every movie. I'm not going to turn something away because it doesn't have a budget or it's too small for me."
Yeah.
I'm an actor, and then other actors were like, "I won't touch certain things. I only pick and choose."
Like Daniel Day-Lewis.
Well, that's a
but
kid that is.
He cobbles shoes when he's not filming movies.
When he's not interested in something,
He's really uninterested. Like,
Yeah.
I'd rather go cobble shoes. That's pretty fucked up. You know?
I don't know what he gets for the shoes. I didn't even know he cobbled shoes.
We got like $4 million for you. You'd be in this movie.
And that's light.
It'll take like 6 weeks or whatever of shooting, and then reshoots maybe at this time. No, I'd rather cobble shoes.
Is that what he does? He cobbles
Yeah,
shoes?
he
I didn't know
cobbles
that.
shoes. Absolutely. He's
Is he making
retiring
like
after
Nike knockoffs? I mean, what are these shoes?
I have no idea.
If freaking you got Daniel Day-Lewis in Chinatown, fucking
Right next to
On the corner,
they're
rockets
Nike,
and shoes.
they
Like,
made
hey.
Jordans, bro. We know what's up.
making his own. I mean, that's crazy. Is he making them for sale or for himself?
Or is he with Big Baller brand?
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say him and the Baller Boys that are out there. You know?
Oh man, Robin Versace in China.
I didn't know that about him.
Yes, I like Justice League, and go ahead, shoot your questions through, and we will gladly answer them.
Justice League.
Nope.
I haven't seen it.
Like I said, I like
Nope.
it. It's fine.
You didn't like it? Or what?
I'm just waiting for it. I'm not paying for it.
Right, I gotcha. Do you know we can sneak into this here and see?
Oh, yeah.
We'll pay for another movie, but we'll sneak in.
No. See, because still, I would have to get in my car and drive to the theater
To watch Justice
to then sneak in and watch Justice League. And you know, I was all like, yeah, we're gonna go see a Batman Superman movie. And before that, it's like, we're gonna go see a Superman movie in really weird 3D.
Do you think is it the Ben Affleck? Do you think that's what's kind of like just or what
No,
is
it's
it?
not
I
his
kind of
fault.
like
You know,
Ben Affleck.
okay, that's what I'm
as
saying.
Batman.
Because I don't know.
I think the casting's
problem.
great. I think the issue is the studio's interfering too much.
I think it's because they don't have a game plan.
Because apparently
at all.
Justice League's original cut was 3.5 hours long, and Warner Brothers says, make this 2 hours.
Well, but I mean, no. It's how did it get to 3.5 hours, bro? Like,
that was the movie they signed off on. Because they read the script. If they want to do a 2-hour mandation, they need to set that before they go in filming. And
yeah, that's what I'm saying. But it's like, dude, 3.5 hours.
Because there was definitely parts
3.5
of Justice
hours
League that you could tell maybe just needed a little bit longer.
Well, yeah, because again, here's the problem. You can't make your fucking big group ensemble movie without making a movie for each person in the ensemble. Okay? You need to at least have each person have their own start. So that way you don't have to introduce them. You don't have to get to know their world or anything like that. You already come into the movie knowing fucking everything important.
Right.
And then you make the movie and shit can happen. But you can't just be introducing 3 out of the 6 characters and fucking expect of course it's gonna have to be 3.5 to 4 hours long. But like if you would have made and I don't even understand why they don't want to make the movies. Because like Marvel,
they'll make money.
They made
because they want to jump right
they made
into
Iron
the big
Man.
thing.
They made Captain America.
They
made
earned
Thor,
their way.
but they made money on each one of those movies.
Yeah.
I'm like, why are you taking away your opportunity to make money?
Well, even when they didn't,
That's true.
like Captain America and Thor didn't do as well as the other ones, but they still did okay. But Marvel didn't react; they kept going.
First
no, but
ones
it's like
were really good. I mean, did well, I should say. Right?
They did okay. Like they did
well enough.
They temper their expectations, and they're like, we have a plan to do this thing, and now whenever they make any offshoot, like people you haven't heard, like Ant-Man, who gives a fuck about Ant-Man? And then, you know, like Doctor Strange is a really hard character to lock down. And he can be very, very bad or very, very good, just depending on how you want to write him. And they pulled that off, and people bought into it. And I'm just like, Guardians of the Galaxy? Come on. Who saw that coming? I was laughing at Marvel. I was like, no way.
That's the one I called.
And Ant-Man.
That's the one I called. I said Ant-Man would be good, and I said the Guardians. And I go, I have a feeling about these two. I go, I think they're going to just be fun because the people that they put in place, I felt like were able to deliver those lines. You know, and I think Thor, you know, Chris is just one of those guys that can actually, you know, slide it in. So
Thor is the biggest surprise to me. You know, like every time you make a Thor movie, that I'm not like this fucking movie. Wow, how terrible. Like,
I feel good about the picks,
I'm like, hey, wow, you guys overcame a lot here because we're dealing with Thor. Like,
but like Max said, you can't jump into the ensemble. You have to do the individual things, but to go on top of that, DC movies, when you do the individual things, you can't have the ensemble in mind. Like you can, but you don't want to like make your first movie, like they did with the Mummy, where they just
the Dark Universe movie.
It's silly.
Yeah,
I felt really good though, like you said, like each individual, like we started with Thor. I mean, all of them, it felt really good who they picked. So when I felt like they were doing Guardians as the first big, you know, there's a bunch of people, there's a bunch of pieces. It wasn't just about one. I felt really comfortable with that. I felt like they'd done such a good job individually with all these other actors and choices from Robert Downey, et cetera, that I felt really good about. Like there was no stress coming in with Guardians. I just felt like it was going to be, if there's no stress, like there's a ton of stress going on with Justice League. And that I think ruins a lot of movies because they feel they get worried and then they're looking behind when they should be looking forward, and it just becomes this. They make things too complicated.
And plus, Marvel, you know, they give their directors, say, you need to do this in your movie, but then they go off like Thor 3 actually felt like a Taika Waititi movie just as much as it felt like a Marvel movie. And Guardians felt like a James Gunn movie just as much as it felt like a Marvel movie.
And you know, Batman: The Dark Knight. This is a very cool cop drama detective movie. Not really a Batman movie, except, you know, hey, it's a Batman movie. Like that's good. Or Winter Soldier, spy movie. Oh yeah, Captain America. But you know, like that's really what you need to do. Like, you know, like you need to worry about making your good movie, and then you can put all the Marvel stuff in there because, like, you know, all your relationships and all that stuff. You know, you're gonna need that, and Marvel's got the characters, you know, to throw in there. So just make a good story, and then worry about it being, you know, like whatever superheroes in it.
So Joe P says, did they write Flash as autistic because of something in the comics, or was that just a bad decision by the actor and director? Outside of that and Superman's face, it was good. The boys loved it.
Flash to me always looked like he had just farted and like knows that you knew that he farted, but he's not gonna say anything.
But has that awkward look at you, like
on his face, like, yeah, it's rank. I know. Are you gonna say something? If you say something, I'll apologize. But if you don't say anything, it's just gonna be this awkward moment. He has that look on his face the whole time. And it was like accentuated when he was in the suit, which sucks. Fucking.
I haven't seen that. I have to look at the suit.
Yeah, Ezra Miller. You know, like I didn't think it was gonna happen, but I wish they would have just gone with the TV guy.
Yeah, I think I've heard a lot of people say that. Why didn't they just pluck that guy off and take and put it in?
And I mean,
what about Momoa as Aquaman? Did that work?
Yeah, dude. I totally dug it. I really like
Aquaman is that one guy that you could have changed. He could have been an Asian woman. You know, we've been like, it's Aquaman.
Who gives a fuck?
Who cares?
He's the Thor.
It's Green Lantern.
Or I should say he's the Thor, because DC's got a lot more work to do. But like Aquaman is always lame, and you always just write him off.
It's Green Lantern. You could change up the character, fill in the blank, Green Lantern, and you're like, yeah, okay, I think or what's his name for for Marvel, Shield. What's the
Nick Fury?
Fury, white guy, black guy. And you didn't care. You know what I mean? You were just like, okay, cool.
He's good.
Who's the actor? Who's okay? I'll buy Samuel. You know, and then you see it, you're like, yeah, that's it.
I want the David Hasselhoff, Samuel L. Jackson, Nick Fury double team up.
No.
I'm Nick Fury. No, I'm Nick Fury.
So yeah, I mean,
No,
Aquaman,
Hasselhoff.
that was the one I didn't know
I'm sorry,
about
buddy.
Aquaman. I didn't know how that would be.
But I enjoyed
no,
the Flash. But as far as the mustache goes, that didn't bother me.
The CG tripped me out.
Did it?
Yeah, no, it's because the whole movie, I don't know if anyone was actually standing in a place.
Well, apparently
Like-
all of Superman's stuff, except for the fight with the League in the middle of the movie,
Mhm.
was all reshot. So his entire thing was new.
Okay, yeah, because like, yeah, it was weird. It was really tripping me out because like I'm trying to figure out what's
Is this
real
the one
and
with
what's not there.
Is that the one with the mustache?
Yeah.
Yeah,
They had
so
to
yeah,
go
they-
over and like,
yeah.
superimpose his lip. I haven't
Uh-huh.
seen it yet, but I saw one like pic, and I'm like, "What the hell is that?"
Yeah, there's only one
Does it
scene
look
in the
really
movie
bad?
that's from the original shoot.
Yeah,
It wasn't that. I didn't
Okay,
think it was
so
that
it's
that
bad.
was bothering me.
But in some parts, it is definitely noticeable.
It's ridiculous, and yeah, it's just like 95% of the movie. I think there's just like a square, like 9x9 square of real things. So like they had like a 9x9 square of a field in Kansas, and then the rest of it was CG. And then like a 9x9 square of the office, and the rest of it was CG.
I
And
hate
fucking,
that.
oh,
Yeah,
I
I don't
couldn't
like
tell,
that.
and it bothered the shit.
I don't feel anything for that when you see it. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, and then
it hasn't become something so
Well, you get
majestic.
Cyborg
yet.
was ridiculous. I didn't
Was
like
it?
him
Yeah,
at
I
all.
was gonna say, what about Cyborg? Yeah,
I thought
I thought Cyborg was okay, but that's pretty much the gist. People either liked it or they absolutely hated it. There was no.
I'm like, they should have just fully animated him or something. I don't know.
They should have delayed the movie and put some more time into the visual effects. Absolutely.
They should have delayed the movie and not made this movie. They should have stopped this.
I
Whole
like
thing and
that
started
idea.
over
I haven't
again.
seen
Well, I
it yet.
mean, they could have just made it 5 hours and had like 3 intermissions and
I'm waiting for somebody to have the balls to try that, an intermission in your
well,
movie.
Just like 2001: Space Odyssey did it. You know, back
Yeah,
in the old
yeah.
days, you do that at the
Well,
long
like
movies.
Gods and Generals did it. I mean, it was a shit movie, but
They would say intermission or whatever, and you take
I'm
your
down
little
for
yeah.
10-minute
Like,
break.
so it's like you're back in the old theater.
I
and
loved
shit.
it when I was a
Yeah.
kid. We were like, we'd go see it. Yeah, HBO did it too with the long movies.
Mhm.
yeah,
That
yeah,
was cool.
We took our kids to see The Sound of Music, and they have an
yeah,
intermission.
yeah.
And my kids were like, "What's this? Is a movie?"
Yeah.
over?"
What is
They're like,
that?
"No, go to the
What is
bathroom."
this? What does that say?
What happens to the kids?
They built in a bathroom.
The
break
Von
for
Trapp
you.
movie, the Von Trapp family is dead. Let's go home.
That's like the old timey movies, you know, when the director comes out and says something, and then you've got the overture, and then the film starts.
Tonight's feature.
But I guess Warner Brothers went to Paramount and said, "If you let Cavill shave his mustache, we'll pay for the CG mustache in the movie. To add a mustache would look better than
Yeah.
to take it away." And they're like, "Fuck
Like,
you."
fuck
What was the
you.
deal
You
with
had
the
time
mustache
to make
anyway?
your movie because he needs it for
Another
Mission
movie.
Impossible 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does anyone need anything for Mission Impossible 6?
Not really.
A mustache?
last-
is it really that
The
important?
last, yes, but
Well,
is it
it's-
really?
Oh, it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
the mustache
Come on.
and
For the
What,
character?
what do you want him to do? Glue a mustache?
No,
on?
no, yeah. I mean, I've seen some really
Are
good
you
gluing on
Fucking
mustaches.
serious right now?
I don't know I don't know his character in Mission. Is it a returning character?
No, he's new. He's new.
So that's my point. So we're not gonna see him come on in the movie and go, "This would be so much better with a mustache."
Or it's just
No,
like,
no,
you know,
dude,
throw in a little
dude.
shaving scene. You know, like after
It's-
something
It's the
dramatic
mustache
happens,
from
he
John
shaves
Bags at
his
the end.
stash.
It just like flies off and it's like,
Oh,
oh god!
No,
See,
it was
you
crap.
need that.
But yeah, they were definite sticklers about that mustache. So
Jesus.
it takes away from the Justice League movie. It really does. Taking away the mustache takes away from the
Superman could have had a mustache. They could have just
Yeah.
given him a full
They could
beard.
have given him
Yeah.
a beard. I'd have been like, finally, they're doing something
They could have
different.
given him
Yeah.
that stupid thing from
Wait, you want to glue
the
on
fighting
a beard
game.
now? We're not even going to glue on a mustache. You want to glue on a full beard?
I have never.
Are you
cared-
out of your freaking
Yeah.
mind?
I have never cared about Superman's underwear, and I saw them debate that back and forth. Like, is it on the outside and the red should be blue? Give me talk about the beard. Give me something different. I'd have loved to seen him in a beard. That would have been badass.
He had one in the Man of Steel, so why
Right.
couldn't he have had
Just
one?
leave
there?
it on.
See,
Then he wouldn't have had to worry about the mustache.
Yeah.
It's a pretty
Just
cool mustache,
grow
I gotta
out them.
say. I mean,
Yeah.
if I had that mustache, I wouldn't want to
I
shave it
haven't,
either.
I haven't seen the mustache.
Really?
Yeah, I haven't seen him.
It's the stash.
well, no,
for
because
sure.
they keep taking it
It's
out of
easy,
everything.
But like, yeah.
So DC
Ridiculous.
is launching their own streaming service like everybody else, and they are going to have a Harley Quinn animated series to kick it off. Max, Harley Quinn, you excited?
No, well, it's like it's something else to pay for. It's like, okay, now I got to go somewhere else to get something else specific, you know, and it's like now I got to pay them $5. Disney's going to take $80,000 in the life of my first child, and then you know I still get Netflix, who just raised their prices to $10.99, and you know like Hulu and all that shit. So it's like,
I know how you feel, man. It's not just that; it's the media in general. Like I'm almost through Orphan Black, and while I'm watching Orphan Black in a week, I've got 37 other shows that I would like to check out. Same thing with the Runaways. Like now we have so much, and I'm not complaining. I'm not over it yet, so I don't mind getting all this stuff because I can pick and choose. But there's so much of it. Because like back in the 2000s, there was Heroes and Smallville. That's all you had to watch that was superhero related. In the 90s, it was Lois and Clark. That's it. Now it's fucking a new superhero show every day. It seems
we had better in the 70s and 80s than you had in the 90s for like that generation, your generation. Yeah, when I was like Wonder Woman, the Hulk, we had the Bat, we had the reruns of the Batman. But we had who else did we have? We had a few other. We had something else. It'll come to me here in a second. Oh, Spider-Man. We had the Spider-Man, which was fine when I was a kid. That was cool. That one. But the Spider-Man was fine for TV back then. I mean, that worked for us. So, and then of course we had the Incredible Hulk TV shows, the specials every 2 years or whatever. But yeah, you're right. So there was a drought where they kind of tried to make them like little romantic comedies. Or something. I don't know. I never watched any of that crap.
Lois and Clark was my shit.
Was it good?
I like Lois and Clark.
I didn't watch any. I never.
I watched
that's what we had. So he loved it.
Yeah, man. Fucking Superman for like 3 seconds out of every episode. Yeah. And he'll like fly off. You know, like gotta go do some important stuff. Now who?
And then they didn't really show him in the uniform.
No, like they put him in the outfit a bunch, but like you never really caught him in the outfit doing a bunch of stuff.
I got you.
Like, hey, I flew in and yada yada.
Well, they didn't have the budget for him to like stop missiles or something.
$90.
It was more about the you know the tension and between
coming in, looking like he was sweating.
Well, since DC is like a kid with ADD, let's bring them all back. Let's get Michael Keaton. Let's get Dean Cain. Let's just have all these people.
I would love them to do Batman Beyond. And have Michael Keaton as Bruce Wayne.
Oh, nice!
That would be totally
that would be badass. But who's gonna be Batman then?
I don't know, but you know, like he was a young kid. You know, Batman Beyond's about the kid Batman, so you get some. Fucking
how young was the kid?
Franco.
Honestly, when they were announcing,
how young was the kid?
He was like teenage. He was like 19, all right. 19.
Honestly, when they were announcing Batman v Superman, I would have liked to see Michael Keaton take that role. Because it's an older Bruce Wayne, at least it's supposed to be.
Yeah, but he's too old now.
Dude, you know, I'll be honest. Before Keaton stepped in on that, at that time, because I was aware of Dark Knight, I loved that was the Bible in the 80s for me. I know, but I'm saying back then because we had no movies, so we had that. I always wanted Tom Selleck to play Batman, shave off the mustache. Okay, but hold on. Because it looked like as he was going to get older, it felt like Clint Eastwood, you know. But at the time, Clint was still kind of old. He was still even old, and he was too skinny. But Tom Selleck had this kind of tall, you know, chested like the comic book.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I felt like as he progressed in age, I was like, man, he'd be great for the Dark Knight.
He's not shaving that mustache. Though.
No, he did. He shaved it for a movie. He did it for a mom and pop type movie.
Oh, that's true.
But I'm just, I don't know. He did something like had to save his parents from something. Or
I remember that. That was a big deal that he shaved his mustache.
Right. That's my point. And so I always felt like he'd be great, even though I think I liked Clint Eastwood's attitude. I just felt like it couldn't fly.
I would take Clint Eastwood as old Batman in Batman Beyond right now.
they could do that with a bodysuit and all that, and make it, you know, just have him kind of walking around with the cane like a broken down, but when he gets in there, just, you know.
Batman Beyond, he never, like, Bruce Wayne doesn't rock the Batsuit. Like, he never. So it's like
he just sits in the chair.
He does what old people do. Sits around and fucking takes vitamins all fucking day.
But if you look at Tom Selleck now, as big and thick as he is, like, geez, you know, I know he's not the great actor. I'm just saying, but it worked before Keaton. And when Keaton was picked at the time, it was going to be was it not Bill Murray, the brother that's that Belushi. It was going to be Jim Belushi, Eddie Murphy. They had talked to you. Look it up. They were going to do a comedy. They had tried forever to do a series, and then they were like, scrap it. And then somebody came in with let's do a comedy. We'll do Eddie Murphy as Robin. Bill Murray or Belushi, Jim Belushi as Batman, and we'll just go comedy. And I remember screaming at that magazine and that little Super X.
They did pull a guy from comedy though.
That's what I'm saying. So when they picked Keaton, I just thought, son of a bitch, this is horrible. Mr. Mom, come on. And then I really felt like, if you think about it, go back to that.
Yeah.
You would think about it, and if I said Tom Selleck or Mr. Mom, everybody would have gone, give me Tom Selleck.
Yeah.
More manly. Now we look at it, we're like, oh, Tom Selleck, what a homo.
My mom loves Tom Selleck.
So my point is, there was some volume to it back then, and of course nobody listened to me, But of course, then we went and saw Tim Burton's creation, and it was holy shit. This is the way it should be, definitely.
And it's weird though. Like, I used to look at the Batman, Tim Burton Batmans versus Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. And I was like, Tim Burton he was so gritty, he was so real. And then you go through and watch those movies again, and it's like
they haven't aged well. No,
I mean, it's like
no.
Especially Batman Returns, they just go off the fucking rails.
That's what I liked about that.
You're like, was he going through a divorce? This is like Steven Spielberg's, when he was going through his thing with the Temple of the Doom, Temple of Doom and all that or whatever. I know, but remember that was he was pissed and angry at life because he was getting divorced, going through divorce or whatever it was. But my point is that one was just like, whoa, we're really going deep here.
Now, speaking of weird casting decisions, I was watching something, and Sammy Davis Jr. was the original choice to play Beetlejuice.
Yeah,
I could totally have seen that.
I want to go to another dimension where that happened and watch that movie.
That would be
really cool, I think. Yeah.
Dude, did I tell you my Tim Burton story?
Mm-hmm.
I actually, with Deep Roy, worked on an idea with Deep, and I worked because Deep loved it. I had him at my first con, and I actually brought him in, and I said, Deep, I've been working on this for 3 years. I want to do a Tim Burton version of Moby Dick. Stillmation. And Deep Roy sat there and went, Chris, this is an awesome idea. Holy hell, blah, blah, blah. So we sat there and we worked it out that weekend. We talked for months. We would text, email, back and forth. He brought it to, we kind of ironed it out, and it was going to be do you guys remember the classic illustrated version of Moby Dick with Bill Sienkiewicz's artwork and all that? That was the whole vibe, the feel. So he brings it to him, and it took like 2 weeks for him to get back with Deep Roy. And Deep says, hey, call me when you have a second. It's about TB. And I'm like, I'm not going to lie. I shit myself. I was like, oh my God. So I'm all excited. And I call him, and I had to leave a message because he didn't answer. And he called me back like the next day. And he's like, Chris, Tim said that it's really, really hard to make it politically correct, killing whales in a kid movie with Disney money. And he's like, I'm so sorry, Chris. So he goes, but he said he liked the idea. And I was like, well, there it is.
Consolation.
I'm going to go make Frankenweenie instead.
You can kill dogs. You can kill fish.
Yeah.
You can advertise killing fish. You go to the pet food section, and you get the little cat treats, and there's a cat spearing fish dead. But on the chicken, it's a happy chicken running around.
Well, fish are soulless.
Right, exactly. Fish, Fish what's in Nirvana? Kurt Cobain's line. Fish don't have any feelings.
What's a whale except a big fish?
Right.
Whale's a mammal.
So, exactly. But it was funny. It was just
I'm trying to help you get your Moby Dick thing going.
We have it. We have 117 pages worked out. 117-minute movie. And then, of course, they would trim it down, way down.
Yeah.
But so bummed.
It's like, great idea, except have you seen that documentary that just came out?
Get Johnny Depp to play the whale.
Yeah.
Oh, man. That might be a little much, though. Well, he'd ham it up.
Every time I talk about that, though, I do get depressed because
was that pre-Charlie and the Chocolate Factory or post?
It was after, years after. Yeah,
I would have jumped on it.
I'm not saying Johnny Depp wouldn't have done it. I'm just saying I don't want to see the movie where Johnny Depp plays the whale.
He would have been Ahab. He probably would have had him voice.
Tim Burton's doing Dumbo now.
No.
I know. But that's the thing. You can do Dumbo and with the whole racial issues and all that stuff that Dumbo had in it. Okay, but you can't kill a damn whale.
Yeah.
But if they're taking out the racial issues,
no, they're not. They're gonna
have the racist crows in there.
They're gonna have because Will Smith I think is doing the voices or playing the crow. Yeah,
but
they're gonna leave. They're supposedly leaving some of it.
Oh
in.
my god! I can't wait to see this fucking tragedy.
I doubt we're getting like the heavy.
No, I don't think you're.
I don't think we're getting airplane.
Then the Transformers come in.
Oh yeah. No, if this is any like, am I gonna have to boycott freaking Tim Burton and Disney movies the same way I'm doing Michael Bay?
No, I think they're gonna do it in the way that they're gonna change it enough to where they're gonna point it out as wrong. I mean, they're not gonna glorify it.
That just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, why would you do this again?
Yeah.
Well, Michael Bay's not hard to boycott.
No, he's really not hard to boycott. It would actually be a stand if I had to like boycott Disney movies because like Star Wars, Marvel movies.
Yeah, they own everything.
Fucking, that would be something. And I would, whoever fucking made me feel that way would be a dead man. Because that's taking away like 98% of the things that make me happy in life.
That would be the equivalent of Tom Hanks coming out and someone saying he groped 32 women, and here they are this week.
It's like Max living in that single village.
Yeah.
That's all you.
I think I would thrive in a single man's village. I'd be okay, but not without Disney. Not without Star Wars or Marvel. Come on.
Wow.
Yeah, there's no way.
Well, speaking of Comic-Cons, bad experiences. Max and I had a really bad experience.
I wouldn't say it was bad. Like this
you should call it bad.
Well, I mean, like
I could have slept.
No, because like no one fucked with us. Like we wasted $10 a piece. It's not really that big of a deal. It was near home, so like
I got a free candy bar.
You got a free candy bar out of it, so it was more like $8.50 for you and $10 for me. Fucking. And I actually I didn't even use my free candy bar. I could have gotten a free candy bar. I just didn't. But I mean, it was just like small and poorly advertised.
There was 2 people dressed as Harley Quinn. The only 2 cosplayers I saw the entire time.
No, there's a really fucked up chick.
I didn't see that one.
Oh, that was all chewed up looking.
Yeah.
But anyway, I only saw the one Harley Quinn. As I'm leaving, I hand her both tickets. Like, congratulations, you're probably gonna win this. And she's like, I can't even accept it because I'm a vendor. And I said, but you're the only person here.
They were vending, sitting on their table the whole time, looking like somebody was supposed to arrive and bring them their stuff. I think that was part of their cosplaying, though. Was that they were like vendors waiting for their to arrive. That was part of their act.
Harley Quinn playing a girl, playing Harley Quinn, waiting for her stuff
to arrive. And action.
I mean, we were all vendors waiting for people to show up.
Oh my God! Somebody, my friend Amy next to me, she said something like, she's like, "Well, yeah, it's kind of dead now." And I went, just saying that it's kind of dead now makes me laugh. I'm like, when did we ever go live? I mean, when was that moment?
Dude, like, yeah, I was standing because we were supposed to have a table next to Chris, and that would have been much better because then I wouldn't have to leave my table every time to go over there and talk to him because it was the only thing to do at the freaking con.
We would have sat there laughing, joking and making fun of the 5 people that were there.
They're like, they had to get us something with power. So they put us at this socket that's like sparking when we plug stuff into it. So like it wasn't a great experience, no. But
the one time that we're prepared to podcast at a convention, we don't have power.
We weren't exactly prepared.
We were
somebody didn't bring the microphone.
But we could have used the microphone on the computer, and that would have been just fine.
That's true. But
I was excited to have you guys there because I thought, well, I'll shoot the shit a little bit, maybe do some art and chat, and the idea of working and interacting and doing art is what I need to practice. Usually I'm at home by myself, quiet, and I can do this stuff, but I need the the confusion, and that sucked because you guys were across the way, and I think that I asked him at the end, I said, so how do you rate this? And he was like, well, learning experiences. I don't think it was that bad. It seems like everyone was very happy with their sales. And I started laughing because at that moment, I'm like, I'm going to take you out of business anyway. This is mine now, so I don't care. And I go, dude, come on. This was horrible. And I said, what'd you have, 35 people? He goes, I think it was closer to 37 and a few kids, too. I said, okay, so you had 50 people. And I go, and I'm being giving, I said, nobody made any money. I mean,
he made $200 for the
weekend. Made money. No, you had to pay for the rental space and shit.
$1,400 because he had to have both buildings, and he could have fit. And we told him, and he wasn't listening because we did tell him. I go, this building has a reptile expo in it every month, and they can fit 60-something tables in it. I go, you've got less than that spread over 2 buildings. I go, who wants to be in 2 buildings? Because the people that show up to buy, they want it all in one room. You know, they don't want to have to. Where do I go now? What else? You know. So anyway, he didn't want to hear. You could tell he was just kind of, well, this is, you know, we're gonna learn and we'll come back and we'll figure it out and see where we're at. You know?
So yeah, we were talking to Chris at the con. One of his stories sparked this interest. Can you tell the story? You can leave the names out though.
Of which one? Which story?
The
other one in Ohio?
No, the one the person showed up with none of their stuff.
Which story? I'm sorry.
I don't want to say names. I'm trying to leave names out of it.
Okay, yeah. So, all right. So I run a con up in Maine, which I'm in the process of actually selling. So it's not mine technically right now. It's a gray area, but so I had it my 3rd year, and I bring up this up and coming writer who's jumped on this and was chosen out of X amount of people that put in for it. This to kind of revive this kick-ass franchise, and so I'm jumping in early. And I mean, the news breaks, it comes out. It's Facebook, it's live, it's this, that. I find out who it is, and I find his real name because I did some investigation. So anyway, I get him a PM. He answers me, I am so touched. Thank you so much. I would love to come. So then he gets invited to San Diego, New York. All these kick-ass cons jump on it too, right? Yeah. So he does these cons, but I don't even ask. So I'm assuming if you're going to get invited to San Diego, I know Peter Mayhew had to pay for his place in San Diego. That's Chewbacca.
Fucking
had to
really?
pay.
Wow, no, fuck those guys.
Had to buy a booth to go. So my point is, if they're inviting Jay, so if they're inviting this guy, then he's obviously got his shit together. So I put it aside. Well, he's flying out of the state that's got more lakes and woods than airports, and it was bad. So we get him there. It's expensive. It's already one of those that my wife's looking at me like, you've busted the budget with this guy. This is not worth it. And I'm like, don't worry. It's huge. So he shows up, and I'm like, did you need to get your stuff? And he goes, oh, I have it. And he had this little tiny bag with him. And I'm like, no, I meant your stuff. Did you have it shipped? Did you bring books, signs, posters, things? He goes, nope, I didn't bring any of that. Did you get any of that? And I said, how am I going to get that from, oh, I thought you'd get a hold of my publisher and work away, do it. I'm looking at this guy. I don't know this dude from anybody, right? And he comes to my show, and I had to give him a booth. And I had a waiting list. So to me at that moment, I'm nickels and dimes and dollars. I'm thinking all these, how could I have done this and that? And I bring a dude, he has nothing with him. And he sits there saying hi to people, and he's drinking his, whatever those Starbucks, the mochi yaki latte, whatever. and he's slurping away. And then he keeps coming over to say hi to me. Nobody knows him. He didn't have anything. And we were just talking about that this weekend because I can't remember the connection now, but
we was at a shitty convention.
Right, just shitty convention. Well, but no, there was a point to him showing up with nothing. I think you guys knew somebody that bought all their books.
Our author friend, Nancy Serum. She
bad girl, the New York bestsellers list.
She asked her book. She bought a bunch of books from different distributors so that she could have them to sell at cons, so they would still
and it bumped her numbers and all that. Yeah, this guy didn't. I mean, we're in Bangor, Maine. And they love books up there, and they've got a writer up there named Stephen King. It's known for books, and people love it. And I would out of my way to bring a lot of small time writers in New England to my show, and they always did really, really well. And I was very happy and proud about that, And so here I'm bringing this guy, and he's got this new franchise that I'm talking a ton of people are excited about. And I can say it, can't I?
If you're not going to get in trouble,
I don't give a damn.
Okay.
The Dark Crystal. So he was doing the prequels to the Dark Crystal and all that stuff. So he comes. He had nothing. He just sat there all weekend. And then on Sunday, it's slow on Sunday at our show. You guys were there. It was dead. And then he comes to me. He's like, oh, Chris, hey, listen. Oh, my mom died. Oh, I'm so old. And he's giving me this act. And I'm staring at him like a parent does to a child when they're lying out their ass.
Yeah, and you're like, his mom's 97 years old.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, I feel so old. I don't know what to do here right now, but I gotta go. And then he went and sat in his hotel for 2 days because his flight wasn't until Tuesday. I mean, nobody missed them, but it's just sometimes you go to these, sometimes you go to these crappy cons like mine up in Maine, and yeah. So yeah, we experienced a rather dead con, but we should have known that. I think we knew that when you just look at their Facebook presence.
Yeah, it was like impossible.
There wasn't a pulse.
Really?
Nothing.
No.
Nothing.
It took me a while to find even the address to where I was going.
Wow. And it's
luckily he did, because I never would have.
Yeah, it's at a fairground.
Couldn't find it.
Fairgrounds are tricky too. If you have an event at a fairground, you have to have the event that's been there since 1805, like like the fair or the 4-H club chicken party thing. Whatever they do. They judge chickens.
Club chicken
What
party.
I mean? Cucumber events. The pickle contests. These things that have been going on forever at the fairgrounds. If you're new and you throw your event there, it's like saying, hey guys, my advertising went in, I just put it in the newspaper. It's got to be there Monday through Wednesday. We're gonna have a great show. If somebody told me that, I'd be like, dude, serious? Come on. That was how we should have known.
Put it on the newspaper's website.
Yeah. Did you hit their Facebook page? I mean,
anything?
Yeah. It was just we suffered this week, and it was a little slow.
Max,
it was a lot slow.
Got bad con experience?
Let's see here. I went to this con in Maine one time.
That guy though gave you those tool tickets.
Yeah. No, that was literally like the greatest fucking shit
was
ever.
awesome.
I have not one bad thing to say about the Maine con. Let's see here. Bad con experiences. No, I don't think so. And also, it's just because I'm like, we're fucking doing this podcast, and I just love fucking being around all this shit. Like, I don't care, because like I don't feel like I really belong there yet. So that, I don't really have like a bad, other than this like really small, really shitty con we just went to where the guy like doesn't know what he's doing. So I'd say if you have a con director or whatever who knows at least
but that's
part of what they're doing, then it's not going to be a bad, because like the main con wasn't very big.
No, it was small,
but it was still very well done. Yeah, and there was
side events,
a lot of interactions,
things to do, keep you busy. You got to this thing. It was a concrete floor, some metal walls, and a furnace that kept turning on and off.
They could at least put some,
and you heard it all.
Yeah,
put that was the problem
on the walls or something.
No sound. No music.
Really?
No, you could hear everything. You could hear if there was a husband and wife having a personal conversation in the corner, you would have heard it, the entire thing. It was that dead.
Yeah, if Wizard World can get what's his name? The guy that you like, Cato Kalin.
Cato Kalin would have done this thing easy.
They could have at least gotten
Hilliard Fairgrounds. I'm there.
They could have gotten
say my name.
I got time. I got time.
Sorry. They could have gotten AC. Just pull up in the white Bronco.
Yeah.
It was just, you could tell. And then when we met him, it was like the guy was like a dude that just like me today. Looked like he just woke up from a nap. I mean, you should be nervous. You should be looking like you're running around. I want to see you sweating. I want to see you look like you
chill.
He was like, hey, if it happens, it happens. And when he goes, the other con that's around at the other side of town, they get 200 people, and I consider that a D. He goes, so if we can get more than 200, it slowly goes up from there. That's what he told me at the beginning.
So 37 people was awesome.
So that's my point.
Yeah.
I'm like, if 200's a D, where do you rank, man?
They're at A. They've flipped back around.
Yeah, right.
They've gotten so low of an F that it came back full
37
circle.
people.
Yeah, it was quality. But I feel like that's the convention I would put together. Like, oh man,
no, you have enough friends.
No,
see, that's the difference.
You're smart because you have Christy and I.
That's true.
You would have at least brought the damn TV and play some Mario Kart.
We tried that, but the freaking thing started sparking up, so we couldn't do it.
If me and Max were excited, we were gonna get $30. We were gonna split it and go buy some stuff.
Yeah. I was definitely eyeballing some comic books. I had to. Because Chris showed up. I didn't even know you drew or painted or anything. Right. So he comes up with his art, and it's all super cool. I really like his style. He's done a few different styles too, because like your Rocket and Groot was a very like comic booky like Rocket.
Oh, the inked one.
Yeah,
that was her request too. That was me filling in some what she kind of wanted. She wanted it staying alive. She wanted him kind of just like doing like a dance.
Yeah.
She's like, give me like a John Travolta stance. And so I changed it up a little bit because then she's like, oh, because I said, don't you want rock? Oh, I do. So then I kind of made it like, well, then like, let's go there.
Right.
Kind of, let's go get them.
Fucking, it's good. It's all good. You can check it out at, was it Walking?
Yeah, Walking Pencil Illustrations. I just set that up, so it's going to take me a while to remember. You know?
On Facebook, Walking Pencil.
Yeah, it's just right now I have a Facebook page, Walking Pencil Illustrations, and I haven't even got anything on it. And this is the funny thing is, for 2 years I've been kind of kicking around an idea with the walking stick thing, and it's because we joke and say it was my spirit animal because I keep finding them all the time. And then the other day, this bug was on my stuff walking across as I'm getting ready to make the page and all that, and I go. And I don't have a name. I couldn't think of a name. And I was working with like 5 different walking this, that. And here comes this little walking stick going across. And I go, oh my God, that's kind of cool. You know, and then I put a little post and I get a bunch of likes. And then I said, well, let's do Walking Pencil. You know, and it just hit me, right? Well, it ends up being that, of course, I'm the guy that has like a ton of entomology type friends, you know, and herpetology. And so one of my entomologist buddies up in Cleveland that's an assassin bug nymph. And now his post just read that with no period, but that's how I read those posts. You know, it could be my mom. Yeah. You know, you overcooked the turkey. Oh, that's how it was. And I went, oh my God, they look very similar. And it's a certain. And I looked at the cephalothorax and I looked at the abdomen, and he was right. But I feel like calling it assassin bug pencil doesn't work.
Assassin bug pencil.
I mean, it could work though, because that sounds pretty fucking awesome. But
assassin pencil bug.
Yeah, you gotta move it around. You throw some guns on there, some lasers, you're good to go. Like that. I think he's onto something here.
I'm gonna stick with Walking Pencil.
Hey, no, it works, man. Like, it's your spirit animal. You gotta.
It has to be. Yeah. So I think maybe that's, you know, it made me think of it at least. So.
Speaking of pencils, you don't need it for this. Audible.com/3geeks. Go to audibletrial.com/3geeks for all of your audiobook needs.
But Dan, bad con experience.
I don't think I have one.
Dude, yeah, I don't know. Do you have a bad?
Yeah, I do.
There was the one, the toy con that we all did.
Did you guys go to that one in Columbus?
Our old employer.
Was it bad? Really?
The con was pretty busy. We weren't.
Yeah, we weren't at all.
We were selling all new stuff, and it was people primarily wanting the old stuff.
Well,
yeah, I guess we have done a few like cons.
Every time I've gone to Korg's for one of our old employers. I always had to sell things that nobody wanted,
or sell nothing.
Like,
at
hey,
all.
we're gonna play, or we're gonna go to a video game convention and then sell energy drinks.
They have video game people on them.
Yeah,
it's true.
That actually happened.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, because they got these. We got these fucking. So it's like Street Fighter. Yeah, there's Pac-Man and there's My Little Ponies, and they're all like energy drinks, but they got all the IPs on them. So yeah, they're cool, but
you
it's not exactly the only thing you want to bring.
Those come from like North Carolina or something.
So I was at a con with Steven for our old employer, and Steven leaves for a few minutes. And this con was deader than the one we were at. Less people. Wow. So Steven comes, Jason, come, see this. So we go out in the hallway, and there's this guy crying on the bench. I'm like, Steve, what is it? He's like, he's the rapper that was performing 5 minutes ago. He's upset that nobody understands his music. And he's this like really stereotypically nerdy white dude just sitting there, just tears flowing.
Because nobody understood his music.
There was nobody there.
Well, I mean, he's not wrong.
He stopped
nobody could understand it.
If a man raps in a room and there's nobody there to hear it,
that's one of them. And then before I went with you and Amit, and before we got the things, I used to go to these cons and I'd stay all day, but I'd spend all my money on items and I would never eat. Yeah. So I was always sick for like weeks on end afterwards.
Because you didn't eat.
And I didn't eat because I was just so into it. But now that we have the booth and stuff, especially this year, is one of the best experiences I think we've ever had.
Right by the North Market there. Yeah.
The obnoxious dancing people.
Yeah.
We joined them at the end.
We were the obnoxious dancing people.
That
was us.
Well, you were. I was recording you.
Sexy naked Gandalf.
Yeah.
This is that wizard?
Yeah.
Okay.
But the early days of Korg's, was a mess. They're pretty big now, though.
I went to Korg's the time. I've been twice. They've gotten a bigger space each time I've been in it.
Mhm.
I just always wanted to show up and like sell fucking video games or something.
Like because
Not
that's
something
what you
stupid.
should do at a Columbus freaking original gaming convention.
Gotcha.
I mean, you like what you see? Here's a card of the place I work at. That's how you
Columbus
do it.
Retro gaming community or what was this?
Korg's was
Columbus, Ohio Retro Gaming.
Columbus, Ohio Retro Gaming Society.
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
Freaking no, we're gonna sell energy drinks.
Are they around anymore?
And they're
No?
cool. So
Yeah,
go
they still do course every year.
go to their
Trust me, they
convention.
do it every year. That guy's got my phone number now.
I had a bad time there, but not because
The convention was
yeah,
good.
yeah.
It was
the con's actually quite fun.
right. Yeah, no, like this last one we went to was probably my worst con experience because I went to a con in Las Vegas. It was small, and it's like the size of it has nothing to do with
No.
it. You got people walking around.
Right.
Well,
It's
like,
gonna be the vibe.
Yeah.
Remember Space?
Yeah.
Space was cool.
Yeah, that was a tiny con, and it was a lot of fun. And there's just a bunch of cool people there. But like in this one, you didn't even want to walk around and talk to anybody.
No,
No.
I did. They were like, "You want to go see the other building?" I was like, "Nope."
Speaking of Space, I keep getting emails from those Mest guys, and I want to get back to them, and then I never do. So
You should.
if they listen, sorry guys. at some point, I will email you back.
Definitely do, yeah. Get a
yeah.
connection, get a
It
network.
just, I was like, oh yeah, that I always get their things at work, and I'm like, oh yeah, man, that's cool. I gotta check that out. Archive, and then
Nope.
Well, that's our podcast for tonight. I didn't get to the Runaways pilot, but next week, Max, Dan, and I will hopefully have all seen
Oh,
it.
Were we
Punisher.
supposed to talk about
Spoilers.
Punisher?
Punisher.
Punisher spoilers.
Yeah, do you guys want to do it real quick?
Yeah.
All right, go.
Hell yeah, I do.
Okay. I feel like that some actual military people were consulted on this one, and not because of like how they were, doing all their stuff, because of the way they spoke.
Yes.
And acted like when the bomber kid is going off and Punisher's talking to him on the phone and he's like, "You fucking bombing piece of shit, you're like lower than dirt to me," like because fucking he would have gone through some shit like IEDs are a real thing and people fucking you get hit by one, you don't want to ever go through anything like that again. So yeah, I thought that a few times like some of the jokes that they made and stuff like that was like I was like, wow, they must have actually done some research with real people.
That's cool.
So yeah, I thought that was like it was very authentic, and I like that a lot. And yeah, I mean, this Punisher, so it's like super brutal. And
Yeah. This was more drama-y than I thought it was going to be. Like, if it was up to me writing this, I would just have the Punisher blow the shit out of everything, like every episode. But I guess you can't have that, and I was not like.
Do it sort of like One Punch Man. It's like 5 minutes of getting to know the villain who's gonna die right now, and then like
like I was not disappointed though. I thought it was really good.
Elements, yeah.
That last fight. I mean, this is complete spoilers, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't mind. Spoilers.
Okay,
Spoilers don't bother me.
When he takes the other guy's head and like rams it down that glass mirror thing. Holy shit, that was awesome.
So he's gonna be Jigsaw, right?
I would think so.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't see that coming at all until the very end. I'm like, oh, he's gonna let him live.
But
he's all wrapped up now.
Because they gave him that whole fucking American Psycho scene where he's like, I take 10 minutes to put the lotion on my face. And then, wash with the cream of whatever. And so like they gave him that they were really building it up.
They were.
Until he hit that, like until he was like on his knees in front of that broken mirror and about to get his rake, I was like, oh. It didn't even occur to me.
I thought. But then he just grabs his head and it was slowly goes down the mirror. I'm like, holy shit. Like that's awesome. And he just starts beating his face into it.
When they make you feel bad for somebody who's just done terrible things, like that's how gruesome it is. Like wow.
Like I've watched a ton of horror movies. I mean, I've seen like everything, like Fulci's eyes getting pulted and all that. Anyway. But that scene made me go, oh.
I was gonna watch it, but I haven't seen it yet.
It's still worth watching.
No, it's been ruined.
Yeah, well, it's
still worth watching.
I'm on my second go around. Like it's really good.
I think it has some of the best drama out of the series as far as
this is second best series.
Is it Netflix?
Yeah, Netflix.
How does it rank season wise? Is it
so Daredevil season 1, then this, then Jessica Jones.
Oh. No, I was kind of pissed when they shot Micro in the back, and I was like, "That's not how the story goes."
But like, okay, so yeah, that's a huge spoiler.
Yeah. But
but
sorry,
like,
buddy.
I'm pretending not to listen, but I'm hearing everything.
It's because you don't have
That
your
one-
fingers in
that
your
one
ears.
got me.
Right.
That one got me for sure because I was like, oh, because they did it really well, and
Yeah,
you believe
yeah,
both sides
yeah.
of it. So it's like, yeah, it's not gonna grab Chris because he's got to ruin it. But
I'm gonna forget all about it when we walk up those stairs.
but yeah, so it's
Have you
like
seen it yet?
I'm only at episode 6.
Never
I haven't.
seen it.
Oh yeah,
Is it
yeah.
2 seasons
30,000
in now or
kids,
1
that's
season?
Yeah.
One.
Just one
Oh,
season
okay.
of Punisher.
Dude, I watched this all in one day.
But I would watch.
like it.
I would at least
I might
watch
watch
Daredevil
tomorrow.
season 1 and 2 first, or at least
Really?
Daredevil season 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. That's where
But
the,
you don't have to.
that's where the
No,
Punisher
you definitely
comes
don't
in.
have to.
Yeah,
But it's so badass.
I think I watched the first half of the first season for Daredevil. I
Well,
think I
just
did.
fast forward the Daredevil parts and just watch the Punisher parts.
Okay.
It's definitely worth it for that.
But Punisher is solid. It is
Yeah.
legit. There's no fucking crazy trip to Alabama or
No.
Tuscaloosa or whatever.
I
the fuck.
thought
Fucking
they were talking about him going off, with that group, and I was like, here comes a stupid trip.
yeah.
But no.
I was nervous when I saw 13 episodes. So you're saying
Yeah.
it stays pretty good?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
They everything happens. You're just like, okay, I can see why this happened, and I can see why it went that way. And it's like,
Yeah.
there's no, it's good. It's good. There's
Every-
none of the Iron Fist, Luke Cage-ness that you're worried about. None of that's there.
Like every time I was about to get, kind of bored because there was just a ton of dialogue and people I don't give a shit about, then he comes back and just starts shooting shit, and I was like, hey.
Awesome. It's good, and like he gets fucked up.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, he does several times.
Yeah. So it's not
like I thought.
Terminator, through everything and
Can't
like,
protect
yeah,
him, Rick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
man, Rick couldn't protect shit in this movie.
I thought it was only 12 episodes, so I thought it was winding up. When he's putting the boots on.
Yeah.
I thought
And
I heard
I'm like,
episode 12
another
ends.
episode.
I heard like episode 12 gives a pretty good ending, and then episode 13 comes along.
Yeah, pretty much. But
Wow. I'm gonna start watching it tomorrow, probably.
It's good.
Oh,
I
Punisher's
really
really
enjoyed
good.
it.
They handle PTSD so well on that show.
It's a lot of shit. I mean, like, I was, as a military guy, fucking a lot of that. I was like, okay, it's real. Like I've talked to people, I know people who have to go through this stuff and have to do these things, and yeah, it was legit shit. Like fucking.
I like the way that he sets up, like when he's gonna take out the one guy, he's just like sitting at the bottom of his lawn, with the whole little mount and the scope and everything. It's like yes, yeah.
Yeah, it's good. It's really really good.
How many geeks you give it?
Huh?
How many geeks?
This gets 3 geeks. This is full 3 geeks. This might even get, like, if I had more than 2 friends, I would also tell them. Like, that's how excited I am. But I only have 2 friends, so I will tell both of them. No, it's very much worth the watch. It's Netflix. How you want them to be doing the shows. It's right up there with the best of the Netflix shows that they put out so far. So yeah, definitely 3 geeks from me.
Yeah, I pretty much have to concur. 3 geeks.
I'll let you know my score next week.
But
Really quick for the Runaways pilot, I'll just give a quick synopsis. It's okay. It's very OC-ish.
Yeah,
In the first
that's not a
episode,
synopsis. You have to tell them what happens.
The whole thing is about teenagers, so be expecting some teenage drama stuff. Yeah, CW show stuff.
And I only watched episode 1 particularly for this review, and I was excited because at the end is when the comic book started for me, and I was like, "Yes, we're going into it!" And then I heard the second episode is just the first episode again, told through the parents. So, kind of been putting that off a little bit because I know it's coming. At least what I hope is coming, and that's got me excited to go on to episode 2. But I watched this with my wife, and she was checked out because she doesn't know what's coming. And if you don't know what's coming, you don't really know what it is. It appears to be the OC, and that's good or bad whether you like the OC. So
it's bad regardless.
Yeah.
The teenage show they have.
I would give the pilot 2 out of 3 geeks because I would recommend it to somebody like Max, but I don't know if I'd recommend it to somebody who's never seen the Runaways. But like I said, I hope it gets better. That's all I can say.
Yeah, I mean, I really like I like the books, so we'll see how it goes.
I wish they had gotten Joss Whedon for this stuff.
But yeah, like all the stuff they have in the first episode is like not in the comic book. So like,
yeah, no, it's a lot of setting up.
Yeah,
Which I'm okay with that as long as there's payoff. If there's payoff, the setup is fine.
They did a lot of setting up in the comic book. They did, or I should say, they did enough setting up because I was like, oh, I wonder if these kids all know each other and had problems with each other in high school. Fucking like none of that ever crossed my fucking mind.
Oh,
so yeah, I feel like they're padding it in there for some dumb reason. But
Marvel wanted to make that
yeah.
show, and they used this.
I watched Gotham, so I can give these guys 4 episodes. I watched the season of Gotham, so I can give these guys 4 episodes.
Fair enough.
At least. But anyway, so thank you for tuning in. Go to 3geekstrial.com. Wait, that's not right. audibletrial.com /3geeks for all of your
We
audio
own
books
Audible
needs.
now.
Yes.
We sell T-shirts. Check out the link to the TeePublic store. I will put Chris's link in the description of this video. Go check out his artwork because it's some great stuff.
My link's been in a lot of things.
Why?
Maybe we can
It's
see
a
that in the
dirty
background
flesh.
here.
Proven breeder over here.
Anyway, have a great night.
You're proud of it, like it's cool.
Well, the reptile
Goodbye.
world, I would be.